guys, it's time for palette collection bingo number 29. I put all of my palettes in a spreadsheet, and once a week I use a random number generator and it tells me which palette I'm going to do for you. Welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Andi, and I'm really happy that you're here. You guys, this is a very special palette collection bingo. I was challenged by Leanna Dalton to do a green and yellow look, and I will explain more about that while I do my look. But the palette that came up this week was the Culture palette. It is by Juvia's Place. It is a beautiful palette. And this is what this looks like. So since this was the palette that was drawn, and Leanna challenged me to do this look, I thought I would put them both into one video and do a green and yellow look with the Culture palette. I am going to bring in another palette. Kind of cheating, kind of not, because it's my rules. I make the rules, so I can break the rules. And there's no real good yellow in this. There's an orange yellow and there is a yellow-green shimmer, but there's not an actual, and this is more of a gold, so there's not an actual yellow. So I am going to bring in a yellow from another palette. Put my hair back. You know, last week when I used this clip, it got stuck in my hair and it was all bad. It was all bad. It took me forever to get it out. And yes, I know it's time to color again. I swear I just did it. I swear I did. All of my brushes are clean, if you can believe that. And I don't know if you guys can see, but I have these bumps here and here. And I don't know what they're from. They're not breakouts. I don't know if I had an allergic reaction to something or what. I have no idea. I do have my eyes primed and set. I primed them with the Ace Beauté eyeshadow primer in the shade Light. Okay, you guys, let's talk. So this challenge that Leanna challenged me on is from Lorraine Johnson Coleman. She is a beautiful presence on Instagram. I have followed her for a while. I first heard about her through Erica Conger. Erica Conger has done a couple of the Queen's Challenge. Actually, she was like the curator, if you will, of one of the Queen's Challenge videos. And I have always been kind of in the background. Like I've watched and I've seen all of these beautiful looks being created. Leanna Dalton, I believe Tina H. Beautiful Journey, Erica Conger, like I said, and I think I remember Dion from Dion Loves Makeup. I'll do some looks based on what the Queen's Challenge was at the time. They do change. So in this challenge, we were supposed to, the people that follow Lorraine were supposed to tag someone in the comments with a color story that they don't use, they're not familiar with using, they're afraid of, all of that. So Leanna tagged me with a green and yellow look because she knows I don't wear greens and yellows. I have done some greens. I think I might have, I have done a couple of yellows in a look, and but I'm not comfortable with green and yellow. Yellows make me look very washed out. Greens, that's just not something that speaks to me. I've seen some absolutely beautiful green looks from people. Okay, I have. But for me personally, it's just not something I usually gravitate toward. So as I'm doing my look, I am going to tell you a little bit about what brought this challenge to be. So let's go ahead and get started. Want to? I'm going to start with this BH Cosmetics brush. And I am going to go into this Taraba right here. I may butcher some of these names. Sorry. I'm going to start there, and I'm going to start in maybe right above my crease, maybe like a transition area. Lorraine Johnson Coleman is a beautiful soul. As I said, I have not had any interactions with her at all. I have been in the background, kind of seeing, watching, looking at her Instagram posts, reading her Instagram posts. She's a beautiful writer. The stories that accompany her challenges or her post are just almost lyrical in the way she writes. I don't know much about her, but I do know I love. I don't know her, but I love reading. I do love reading her posts. I do love seeing her posts. I do love watching the videos of these women doing these challenges. And I can tell you, she is very well loved in the community. Very, very well loved. So in this post that prompted this challenge, first of all, this is a beautiful formula. It is taking me. I'm taking my time with it. I'm taking my time with it because I don't want a bunch of fallout, even though I did not do my face makeup yet. I don't want a bunch of fallout, and I don't think there was much fallout at all. Oh, that is super bright. Okay, and now I'm going to go into this shade right here. I'm not even going to attempt just to say it, but it is a darker green. So anyway, she was talking in her post, her story that she told. Such a great storyteller. She remembers being a young child in school, in art class, and how she had the big box crayons, and others had smaller boxes of crayons. And she could imagine maybe they had smaller boxes because they weren't as comfortable with all of the colors available, with all of the shades in the big box. And how she was a Crayola warrior. And she knew that she had no artistic ability whatsoever. So she's like, why not? I'm just going for it. And she used every color in that box. Sorry, you guys. My daughter called me. And she had to rant. She had to rant about something. So, anyway, as I was saying, Lorraine was talking about, as she's gotten older, she says she's become a color coward. And basically the whole thing is, what do you have to lose? It's just color. It's not scary, although I think it's scary sometimes. It's just color. Makeup washes off. You guys, this formula is so good. Juvia's formula is so good. And I've always loved Juvia's formula, but always, like the past couple years, after I was introduced to Juvia's Place. But I think this palette is even better than some of the other palettes. I don't know. I could be crazy. I probably am crazy. Okay, so I'm going to take this a little bit of a more fluffy brush, and I'm going to go back into that same shade that I used at the very first one, the lighter green, and I'm just going to kind of buff this out a little bit. So I really love the message of that post and of the challenge because, you know, in the 80s, I wore purples and pinks and bright fuchsia lipstick and blues and, you know, all that kind of stuff because that was the style, right? And then, you know, toward the 90s, it got a little bit more subdued. And then I just got caught in my cool neutrals rut. It was always mauves and taupes. And I did that for years. Years. I wore the same shade of lipstick for years. And it's a mauve. It's just a plain ass mauve. And I love mauves, don't get me wrong. I still wear them a lot. But it wasn't until I started my channel that I broke out of my shell and that I embraced color a little bit more. And, you know, I have some really great friends on this platform that have pushed me outside my comfort zone, and I freaking love it. So for Leanna to single me out and to challenge me in this way and to push me outside my comfort zone, I love her. I love her for it. Okay, I'm going to take this crown brush and I'm going to go into that light green shade again. And I'm going to put that on the center of my lid. And I'm probably going to take that dark green and come in a little bit more. But I definitely want this on the center of my lid before I bring the yellow in. So tell me in the comments below, what colors are you afraid of? What is your kryptonite? Because green is my kryptonite. I see beautiful palettes, and I see people that can wear green very well. And I'm a little jealous sometimes, but it's just because I haven't tried. It's not because I tried and failed. It's because I haven't even tried at all. And something that I used to tell my daughter all the time is you're going to fail 100% of the times that you don't try. And so I try to, you know, I use that in my everyday life, but I just don't use it with makeup. I see things and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. That's crazy. What makes you think I could actually do that? It's because I haven't tried it. Okay. My crinkly eyelids are really showing today. Okay, guys, I am going to use a different palette for now, and I'm going to use the Cake palette by Glamlight. I'm going to go into this bright yellow shade right here. I'm going to use a little bit smaller flat brush. This is a Shanna B brush. This brush, I have no idea what it is, but it's my favorite crease brush ever. I've talked about it before. Favorite crease brush ever. I'm hoping that this is pigmented enough to do what I want to do. Yep, that's the yellow that I wanted. I went through so many of my palettes looking for a yellow that I wanted to do with this, and honestly, I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of yellow in my palettes. I have a couple of rainbow palettes that have yellow in them. Oh, you know what? I could have used the Fade Into Hue by ColourPop. But this Cake palette is a beautiful rainbow palette. And so when I saw that yellow, I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm using. That's what I'm using, y'all. I am getting some fallout from that shade. It's a little dusty, but I'm not really using the type of brush that I should be using with it. I shouldn't be using a flat brush with it, but I wanted to make sure that I got in here really well. And I'm going to put some shimmer on the lid, so a lot of that muddiness is going to get covered up. There's some mud going on. See how that just goes right down in your crease? Some of Lorraine's challenges, I kick myself for not doing any of the other ones, but I am definitely going to be doing some moving forward. They are things like they'll have a photo, and you have to do a look based on that photo. And I love those. Lori Latimer and I did a collab with based on a photo. Our look was based on this summer photo, spring photo. I think it was a spring photo. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go into this IFE, this right here. It's either LFE or IFE. I can't tell because I can't see it without my glasses. It is a bright green shimmer, and I'm going to put that on the center of my lid. I'm going to spray it. Oh, that is such a beautiful shimmer. Ooh. Man, that is gorge. I realized that I turned my makeup mirror light off when I was talking to... Well, okay, so I didn't turn it off. It has a timer. And it's fairly new. So I haven't all figured out all the bells and whistles yet. But it has a timer. And it goes off, and I don't know how to keep it on. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can see that shimmer. I hope you guys can see how freaking stunning that is. Okay, I'm going back to the cake palette. And I'm going to go into this shimmer right here. The first one is called Pineapple that I used. This is called Banana. And I'm going to use that in the front part of my lid. Oh my gosh, I forgot how soft those Glam Light shimmers are. That green is a duochrome. It is kind of duochrome-y. And while this Banana is a beautiful shimmer, it doesn't even begin to touch that Juvia's shimmer. I'm going to blend that a little bit in the middle. Yeah, it's pretty, but it's not... Man, they're soft. Wonder what is wrong with that. There we go. Guys, I don't like to use my finger. I don't like to use my finger with shimmers because my nails get in the way. But that's what this needed. This needed my pinky. Kapow, man. That's crazy. That made a big difference using the finger. Blend bunnies, you have to use your finger. You have to. There we go. Okay, I'm going to look for an inner corner shade. That's a little too... Stand by. I'm going back to the Juvia's, and I'm going to try this right here. Or this right here. I'm going to try that one first and see how that works. I am going to spray it. Thinking it might be a little too light or too yellow. There, I use that bottom shade, the lighter. That's a pretty inner corner shade. Very, very, very pretty. Okay, you guys, I'm going to call that... Am I going to call that done? I think I'm going to go into the lighter one that I used on my inner corner. And just throw that up here on my brow bone. That one's gone hard pan, but we're going to, there's ways to fix that. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to do liners, lashes, lips. We'll discuss. We'll wrap up. We'll wrap it up. And we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to my finished look. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it turned out. Would they be my first choice of colors? No. But I was challenged. I was challenged by Leanna Dalton. And she said if I wouldn't have accepted, she would have double dog dared me. And we all know what that means. There's no going back from that. Double dog dare, you got to do it. But she didn't have to double dog dare me because I love Leanna with all my heart. And if she challenged me with something, I know that she has my best interest at heart when she's doing it. She's just pushing me. Just give me a little nudge outside my comfort zone. And I welcome that always. So again, I used the Culture palette. I used the greens. I used this green, this green, and this green. I did use this for my inner corner, and this. I did put this on my bottom lash line, or underneath, and then this shimmer in the front of my under eye. Then I used this Cake palette. I used this yellow here, which is called Pineapple, and then I used this, which is Banana. And that is one of the strangest shimmers. It's almost like a cream. It's like a cream. It's odd. It's very odd, but beautiful shimmers. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm going to show you what I have on the rest of my face. I have this in my waterline. This is a ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Punch. And the KVD Cake Liner in my upper waterline. Tight lined with it. Yep. And then the Trace-Stick. 2 coats of Trace-Stick on my top lashes, bottom lashes. And then on my top lashes, I did L'Oreal Air Volume. Sadly, this is on its way out. It's very close to being expired, and it's almost empty. So there's that. And then on my lips, I used the Totally Toffee Maybelline Color Sensational Shaping Liner. Totally Toffee, a fave. And then its little counterpart is the e.l.f. Matte Liquid Lipstick in Praline. Those are my favorite little neutral. I don't have a green lip, and if I did, I probably wouldn't have worn it. Just saying. Probably won't ever have a green lip. So, yeah, there's that. But I like it. I'm happy with the way it turned out. The shimmers, oh my gosh, you guys, I do have, if you're interested, I do have a swatch video, which I will link. But this is that shimmer I used. And look at that. That's just freaking ridiculous, you guys. The shimmers are so amazing in that palette. So, to recap a little bit about why this look came to be, if I would not have been challenged, this would be a totally different type of look done with the Culture palette. But I was challenged, so I did it. Moral of the story, it's just color. It's just makeup. Pull your makeup out and play with it. That's what Leanna says. Pull your makeup out and play with it. There's no contest to be won. You're not going to get an F on your report card. Nothing bad can happen. Nothing bad can happen for you to take your makeup out and play with it. Put a purple with a green. Put a pink with a black. You know, just mix things together. Step outside your comfort zone. Play with your makeup. That's what it's there for. I don't have all these palettes to just sit there and look at them. I only have one face. I understand that, but play with it. If I wouldn't have all these palettes, I wouldn't be as comfortable as I am with color. I'm still not 100% comfortable, but I am comfortable. So thank you, Leanna Dalton, for your challenge and pushing me outside my comfort zone. Love you to the moon and back, always. And even though she probably won't ever see this, thank you, Lorraine Johnson Coleman, for making me step outside, for making Leanna make me step outside my comfort zone. This look will be on my Instagram page with the hashtag Queen's Color tag. I clicked on that tag and I went and I looked at all of these beautiful makeup looks that were challenges from other people. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this very special palette collection bingo. It is week 29, so stay tuned for week 30 next week. And I really appreciate being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.